Olympics Maine held its first ever Free-Throw-A-Thon at the pit on the UMaine campus. Basketball players gathered to raise money for Penobscot area Special Olympics and show off their skills from the foul line.
I love basketball. I mean, you know, I'm not a three-pointer. I'm more of an inside shot type person. But yeah, it's cool. It's all about inclusion. I think we just rock. We rock it out.
The fundraiser included flat donations and then per free throw made pledges. Players attempted 50 free throws in their fundraising effort.